In real-world computer networks, operating systems do not work independently. A single computer cannot perform all the tasks on its own, so systems must constantly communicate with each other. They share files, send documents to printers, display graphical screen from remote machines, and send status information for monitoring. To enable all these communications, operating systems use special network services. Each of these services communicates through a special port numbers which acts like a dedicated doorway for that service. This explanation will focus on four important network services: network file system, line printer daemon, X window system, and simple network management protocol. So instead of learning these services only as the definitions, we'll understand them through a practical examples involving the student. So let's start with the first one. Network file system, commonly known as NFS, is a service that allows one computer to access files stored on another computer over a network. The key idea behind NFS is that the remote file appears to the users as if they are stored locally on their own machine. This makes working with shared data very easy and efficient. NFS is widely used in Linux and enterprise environment to share user home directories, project folders, application data, and backup storage across multiple systems. One of the major strengths of NFS is that it allows file sharing between different types of operating systems. NFS communicates using TCP port 2049. When a client system wants to access files from an NFS server, it sends a request to the port asking for permission to mount a shared directory. If the server allows access, the shared directory becomes visible on the client system, and the user can read, write, and modify files just like they would on the local disk. However, traditional NFS does not encrypt the data being transferred. This means the file contents and permissions can be exposed if the network traffic is intercepted. Because of this risk, NFS should never be exposed directly to the internet. It is recommended to use NFS only within the trusted internal networks or to protect it by using a VPN, which encrypts all file data while it's being transmitted. To understand this in a practical way, consider a student is assigned a task to access a project file stored on the file server. The student has a personal laptop connected to the network, and the server contains a shared directory called a shared project. When the student mounts this directory using NFS, it appears on the student's computer like a normal folder. Any file that student opens, edits, or saves is actually being stored on the server, even though it feels like a local storage to the users. Next, we have line printer daemon, or LPD. Is a network service used to send print jobs from computers to printers over a network. It is one of the earliest printing protocols and is still found in the older systems and some enterprise environments. So LPD works by spooling print jobs, which means that the print data is temporarily stored and placed into a queue before being sent to the printer. This allows multiple users to send print jobs without causing the conflicts. LPD operates using TCP port 515. When a user prints a document, the system sends the print job to the printer or print server that is running the LPD service. The print server then places the job into the queue and processes each job with the order it was received. While LPD is simple and effective, it does not provide encryption or strong authentication because printed documents may contain sensitive information. Exposing LPD to untrusted networks can be risky. For this reason, LPD should be restricted to internal networks or securing using a VPN when remote printing job is required. To explain this with a student example, imagine a student is asked to print a paper. So let's consider a scenario. There are four different computers connected to the same printer. If student 1, student 2, and student 3 send their print request before the student 4, the print will process those jobs first. So student 4's document will be printed after the earlier jobs are completed. So this process follows a queue system that works on first come first serve basis. So basically it's like a queue. It's like first come first serve. So if you send the request first, you will get the document first. So that's how this process works. Next, we have X window system. Is a graphical user interface framework primarily used in the Unix and Linux operating systems. It allows graphical applications to run on one machine while displaying the interface on another machine over the network. This capability makes X window extremely useful for remote administration and for running applications on powerful servers while using lightweight client systems. X window uses TCP ports ranging from 6000 to 6063 depending on the display number. For example, a display number 0 uses port 6000, display number 1 uses 6001, and so on. When a graphical application starts, it sends a visual data such as windows, buttons, and text to the X server, which then displays this information on the user screen. At the same time, keyboard and mouse inputs from the users are sent back to the application. So one of the major concerns with the X window is the security. By default, X window traffic is not encrypted, which means that keystrokes, mouse movements, and screen data can be intercepted. Because of this, X window should never be exposed directly to untrusted network. It should always be secured using a VPN or SSH tunneling to protect the graphical session. To understand this practically, consider a scenario where an application runs on the server and the student accesses it from their personal laptop. Although the application is running on the server, the screen appears on the student system. When the student clicks the mouse or types on the keyboard, those actions are sent back to the server. This makes a X window a two-way communication system where server sends display data and the client sends uses input. So next we have Simple Network Management Protocol, or SNMP, is used to monitor and manage network devices such as the routers, switches, firewalls, and servers. SNMP allows administrators to collect performance data, detect problems, and receive alerts from the central monitoring system. This reduces the need for manual checking of each device and helps maintain network reliability. SNMP uses UDP port 161 for sending requests and UDP port 162 for sending track messages. The monitoring server regularly asks devices for information such as CPU usage, memory utilization, and network interface status. In addition to this, devices can send trap messages automatically when a critical event occurs, such as network interface failure. Older versions of SNMP, such as SNMP version 1 and SNMP version 2, use plain text community strings which are insecure. SNMP version 3 improves security by adding authentication, encryption, and access control, making it the recommended version for modern networks. In a student monitoring scenario, the student is assigned a task of monitoring network devices. Instead of manually checking each device, SNMP automatically collects and reports the data. In this process, port 161 is used for asking questions, meaning the monitoring system actively checks the health of devices and receives responses only when it sends a request. This is similar to teacher asking attendance, where student responds only when their names are called. And port 162 is used for emergency alerts. In this case, the device does not wait for questions. If something goes wrong, such as failure or overload, the device immediately sends a message to the monitoring server. This behavior is similar to fire alarm, where no one asks if there is a fire, but alarm automatically triggers when danger is detected. Together, these two mechanisms ensure effective and timely network monitoring. So I hope you understood the concept of today's video. If you like the video, please click the like button below and subscribe for more such videos. And also feel free to share your thoughts in the comment section below. Thank you.